So we are live on show number 119. I have the lovely Reuneklea with me. Adria should be coming on in a moment. But we are live on, well, let me turn myself down over here. Hold on. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and the group, and in the on the Flipman page, along with Periscope and, well, I forgot about Instagram. And on Instagram, we're also live on Instagram. So, what's going on, Reuneklea?
Everything is good. It's getting cold out here. Seasons are changing.
Oh yeah, finally
I know
caught
a
up.
lot of people wine and dine, but one thing about real estate is we do this year round,
Oh
closing a deal the day of Thanksgiving.
yeah. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, guys, we're using a new platform here, a new streaming service. So, hopefully, it works out. While I'm making sure everything's okay, I'm going to let Reuneklea do her thing and explain to you all who she is. And I'm going to throw up her contact information.
Awesome. First and foremost, I always love to thank Ty for allowing me to be a part of the Flippinar. I'm super excited every Thursday to be a part of this show, to be able to teach you all about the way money work, about how to buy and sell real estate. But most importantly, the piece that I bring to the table is financing. My motto and the motto at our office is nothing moves before the money. So you can have your eye on that piece of real estate, but if you don't know how to finance it, or wholesale it based on what we teach, no money down deals, then you won't know really how to take advantage of that opportunity. So to position yourself for the opportunity is to make sure that you're ready for it. Make sure your credit is right. Make sure your finances in order, and make sure you understand the business so you can go out there and be successful. Um, I'm going to talk about some of the financing options we have. One of our flagship option is you can leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 of unsecured credit to help you offset some of the expenses of buying and selling real estate. If you want to take advantage of any of our financing options, and we also are direct hard money, a private lender with residential and commercial acquisitions and rehab loans. If you want to take advantage of any of our loan products, go to fundmynextdeal.com.
All right, boom. So, we'll go ahead and get right into the comments here. Should be able to make this a little easier. Supposed to be able to post the comments here on site. So, he have Joe Briggs in Tennessee, Condia Pear in Atlanta,
Okay.
Nicholas in Wilmington, North Carolina, Danny Boy FC in New York City. Just to name a few, we have Brand New C in Delaware. So we'll start with Mazikia, the Mazikia team. Well, he was just giving us a comment about the content. No problem. I hope it helps. So let's see here. Okay, so question from
Oh, nice.
Rwanda Abdul. Oh, it's super tight now.
Oh, I see it. Oh,
And
wow.
so her question is, does dealulator locate commercial properties? Actually, I would have, if you'd asked this last week, I would have said no, but there's been a recent update in the service, and they added on commercial. So it's just the updates, which I'm going to do a video here soon on it, are amazing. On the updates that made with more to come. So to answer her particular question, all right. All right. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, there's a lot of people just shouting out where they're located. Um, no, you're William Allen. You're not late signing in. We just got started, my man. So you're good. We're good. We were a little late ourselves. Somebody asked me, how do they donate to my super chat? I
Mm.
don't offer it. I don't offer it. All right. Here's a question. I think let me see. Should I structure my deal? Okay, yeah, we can post that. All right. So millionaire male. What's up, millionaire male? I have a
Mm.
few realtors that are working with me and sending me deals. Should I structure my deals with the realtor just like I normally do and then pay her out of the spread?
Mm. That's a good question, Megan and Mel. Most importantly, is really you can really structure it however you want to. I'm gonna give you two ways that is easily done. Now you can either pay her out of your spread, give her a flat fee, or pay her a percentage of your spread, or pay her the 3% out of your spread, or you can say what a lot of wholesalers do. As I get a lot of marketing from wholesalers, they always put a disclaimer: add your 3% on top if you are a real estate agent or broker. So either way you can do that. You can have her to add her 3% on top, so it doesn't come out your spread, or you could give her a piece of your spread.
Okay. That was millionaire male. Okay. All right. Dexter Chilton Sr. If I have the property under contract, do I need a POA with my buyer? POA, my buyer is asking if I have one.
Power of attorney.
Power of attorney. Why would they need that? Maybe.
Mm. Are you saying a POA or POF?
He may mean POF. I don't know. Dexter, if you could clear that up for us, my man. All right. Knew we started to say. All right. We'll go with this question here from Danny Boy FC. Is driving for dollars the main way newbies, I guess, should get started? Is what he's asking.
Okay, Danny boy. I like these names. Honestly, I think it is the most cost-effective way for a newbie to get started, because you don't have to put a lot of money in putting gas in your car and driving around, versus putting a lot of money into bandit size or putting money into postcards, where a lot of newbies, maybe kind of tight on the money that they can really put out there at first. So they start in those cost-effective marketing campaigns, like driving for dollars, where it doesn't cost as much money out of pocket to get started.
Okay. All right. We'll go with this one from Chief Neo. What is the best niche to get into wholesaling? Get into for wholesaling?
That's a good question. I mean, to a certain extent, I would just keep it simple. A lot of times people get in and they try to do things that are just kind of unorthodox. I would just keep it simple. Go out there and find properties for sale, find a buyer, close it. So I would say, the best and easiest niche to get into wholesaling is keeping it simple with single family properties.
All right. Amita H says, okay, Ty, I see you upgrading the stream service. What stream service is this? It's called StreamYard. StreamYard.
Nice.
Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. It's the first time I saw the test. I had to go buy some
this is good
to make sure the internet connection was good. If I guess the audio and video quality is good, you guys haven't said anything in the comments, so I guess we're super tight on it. All right. Okay. GSI TV says, can we still JV with Flipman on amounts of land in rural areas? Yes, yes. The main thing you're looking for there is timber. So that's the main thing that I'm looking for on those. All right. So Jai Hudson says, how can you wholesale a short sale property with banks placing stipulation on buyers to hold property for a certain amount of time before they sell the property? I guess he means you're probably he's probably meaning the bank is not requiring you to hold it a certain amount of time after you buy it because it's your property. It's just that what type of funding does the property needs to, is it FHA or something? It needs to be seasoned 6 months or something like that, or?
Yeah, when you go, when if your end buyer uses, so you probably getting it confused. You can wholesale it to your end buyer. Wholesale it to your end buyer, no matter what the days are. But if your end buyer is using FHA financing, then your end buyer can't necessarily just flip it out within the next 30 days or so. They have to wait a minimum, I want to say 6 months or a year.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just to mention, guys, I released that new course this week, and you can still get access to it. I'm going to have what we call a platinum group, so you'll be able to get access to that if you sign up for it. I'm going to post a link here in the comments section. You can sign up for it, and what it is, you get both courses on wholesaling houses and apartments. But you're in a 6-week platinum group coaching, which you'll be dealing with me directly, but it's only like once a week. So, but it's a lot cheaper than what I normally charge with the actual coaching. So I'm pasting the link in the comments section. Should be on everywhere on these different platforms or whatever. So just wanted to throw that in before we move forward. All right. So let me see. All right, William, as I have great occupied commercial deals available, how do I show the deals? Just look up ICCRE. That particular video will give you instructions on what I'm looking for on that. Someone's asking you, Reuneklea Marcos, Dallas, said, do you fund projects in California?
Yes, we do. We fund projects nationwide, minus 4 states, and that's North Dakota, South Dakota, Maine, and Nevada.
Okay. Let me see here. All right. I'm not sure what the handle is there, but the last part of it is 2007. When driving for dollars, would you generally also target properties that are held in a trust?
They're sellable. I wouldn't target properties held in the trust, but if a property is held in a trust, you can still purchase it if they're willing to sell it.
It's still a human being behind it if it's a great deal, obviously, yeah. But yeah, still I wouldn't. I guess like you're saying, I wouldn't just target those per se. You don't care what the entity that owns it. If it's a great deal and they want to sell it to you at a cheap price or whatever. So,
right.
All right. I'm not sure what the last name is here. The handle is, but they said what's the easier way to upload pics to PropStream to do postcards. I really can't. You'll have to call tech support on that. They're open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Just reach out to them and they'll be happy to help you with that. All right. Someone, I'm not sure about the handle here. What is it? Highlight Films 2010. Any other ways to get accurate ARV other than MLS or RealQuest?
Appraisal. Getting appraised.
There's so many sources out there. Obviously, MLS is going to be sufficient, but RealQuest works. If you know how to read Zillow, that will work also, because it's going to pull up, recent sales in an area. You can do your additional research, but normally it has it right there and it's filtered for that. It's going to be similar square footage. It doesn't have to be exact square footage. Normally, an appraiser can go up or down as far as square footage. They can go up or down, normally about 25% either way. You're looking at the distance, they can go up to a mile. Obviously, the closer the properties that they're evaluating comparing to your property, the better. And they normally, they'll go up to a year, but they like to go more recent if possible. And so all of that data is still just out there, in different sites. You just have to know what you're looking for or whatever. But you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I add to that as well. Zillow, to me, I like Zillow. And I think what people don't, a lot of people have a bad stigma about Zillow. But you have to just know how, like Ty was saying, you have to know how to read Zillow. So with Zillow, when you have that Zestimate down there, what Zillow don't necessarily take in consideration is apples and apples and oranges and oranges. So when you filter it, you just want to click on those individual houses that have sold to see if it's similar to the house that you're trying to build. You know, if a property sold and it's a new construction, but you're doing a rehab, and that's not necessarily the most similar property to what you're trying to build. So you can manually just check in Zillow and just pull up those individual properties that have sold and see to make sure that those properties are similar to what you're trying to build, to help you get even some type of a accurate estimate of what the ARV would be of your house. But MLS is going to be some of the most accurate comps, I would think.
Oh yeah. Dexter, back to that POA with the cash buyer. I'm not sure what the cash buyer is asking, that you need a POA with the seller or whatever. I'm not sure what.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have no idea.
So obviously the buyer thinks that you are a wholesaler and not the actual buyer either.
And he doesn't know wholesaling, probably. You know what I'm saying? So that's like his solution to, hey, do you have a right to even be involved in this deal or whatever?
Exactly. That's what I feel like he's trying to do.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what he's doing. All right. So what we got here? So Dark Jamar 01. Hey Flip, what's the difference between a broker and an agent?
That's a good question. I would say the difference is that a broker can manage and house other agents.
Yeah, you can look at it like both. You can look at it like both of you all are. Well, let's just break it down for him. A broker can have all of them are real estate agents. Okay. All right. But a broker can set up an office and other agents can literally technically work for him or with him. And on all their transactions, they have to give him a percentage of their deal. Whereas he doesn't do that. He the deals that if he does deals himself or herself, they keep 100%, if my understanding is correct. But the benefit to the agent is that now I don't have to pay for an office or a printer or a meeting place for my clients or whatever. The broker is taking on all of that overhead or whatever. The only thing is you really technically don't ever have to go into the office or whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But anything that goes through that brokerage or that broker, you're gonna they'll get a percentage in there, and that's gonna vary. Sometimes it may be 80-20, sometimes maybe 60-40, sometimes maybe 95-5, and you get in the other end. It just depends. So it's just gonna depend. Sometimes it may be
a flat fee.
A flat fee. Yeah, maybe just a flat fee. So, but that's
another thing a broker does is an agent must hang his or her license with the broker in order to transact real estate. An agent cannot not hang their license with a broker and transact real estate. An agent must hang their license with a broker in order to transact real estate.
All right. Shakia Tubbs wants to know where you get bandit signs. Just text me the company that I refer you to, or what I just text me on that. All right. All right. I don't know what this is. I'll put it up here though. Nicholas says, I know these iBuyers such as Zillow and Open Door are not necessarily new, but have you all had any experience with them? You remember we talked about a few weeks ago
Yeah,
about Zillow buying houses now or whatever. Not personally, I hadn't had any experience with them with a transaction or whatever at this point.
Right, it's pretty new, it's like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't done any business with Zillow yet.
Yeah. All right, this one here from Velma Samuel. Love the what is that? What we call it? Pick profile pick.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot from YouTube. Let me make sure I get some of these Facebooks in here. Saying it. So do you recommend selling the property even if it's not completely renovated?
Do you recommend selling?
I guess they mean if you found a property and someone was in the middle of renovating it, and would you still wholesale? Then obviously yes, if you get a great price on it based on the condition.
Right. If the numbers make sense, it's all about the numbers.
Yeah.
The scenario, that everything else around it is irrelevant outside of the numbers. If the numbers make sense, it's a deal.
That's correct. All right. So what we got here? The banner sound down. Oh, somebody asked. I ain't gonna ask that. All right, this is a good question here. All right, from Ram Evans. What up, Ram? How do I know the rough areas to put bandit signs? How do I know the rough areas? I have 78.
That gotta be rough areas, rough areas.
I have 78 out. Looked at videos, used prop stream, but no calls. Well, Ram, a couple of things there. Number one, what do your signs say? It would be interesting to see the design of your sign and your messages. Where did you place your signs, right? And out of those 78 signs, how many of those signs are still up? All of that will factor in whether or not how we can maybe troubleshoot your situation.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Where is this? Could you give us?
And bandit signs is a consistent flow. All this marketing is just consistent. You don't get any calls the first 30 days. Just do it again. Do it again. Do it again. One thing about real estate, we all need it. So it's not a hard sell if someone wants to sell or if someone wants to buy.
Correct. All right. Here's one. Justin Stanfield. Could you give a call script or demonstrate how you would talk on a cold call? The biggest thing with a cold call is the opening statement, right? Because you got to get them to talk to you, number one. And then if they do, obviously, you let them know if they're interested in selling. And then you just go from collecting information at that point to hopefully get to a number that works for both of you all. But the opening statement could be something like this, which I heard someone mention this through that Max Maxwell uses, that I know this is out of the blue, but I'm calling the owner about buying their property at 123 Main Street, right? So you just automatically putting them straight to the point that, hey, I ain't calling about no foolishness. I'm actually calling about giving out some money instead of asking for money or whatever. So, and then from there, they're like, yes, you go into, asking about the property itself, number of bedrooms, blah, 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 or whatever. If they say no, you ask them, well, do you have any other properties that you're interested in selling? It may not be that particular property. They say no, thank them for their time. Let them know if anything changes. Keep your number or whatever. So it's just the opening statement is the biggest thing, in my opinion. What do you think?
No, I agree 1000%. And that's perfect. Keep it simple. That statement you just said, that's it. I wouldn't change anything.
All right. Okay, this is a good question right here. All of them are good questions. All of them are good questions. All right. So George Catreas, I think we're pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry, Instagram. I'm gonna get to you guys over here. I'm gonna start asking some. I'm just so enamored with this new software. In San Diego, people are using 80% of ARV for their wholesale formula. I see flippers allocate 15% of ARV for holding and closing costs. With that being said, are flippers okay making 5%? No, they'll let you know.
No, they're not okay with making 5%.
No.
Honestly, I don't see how any flipper would buy a property from a wholesaler at 80% of ARV.
It'll be a little higher out there, just from my experience with the guys I know out there. They can get away with like 75, close to 80. And the reason being is because real estate, the prices escalate a lot faster out there than they do anywhere, probably except New York City, maybe some parts of South Florida or whatever. So they can get away with something close, but not everywhere. It's just certain areas. And San Diego is probably one of those areas they may be able to get away with, because they buy on more or less the appreciation expected on the property within the next 1 to 2, 3 years. And that's normally not going to be someone that's going to buy and flip. That's going to need to be someone looking to buy and hold. So to answer the question, flippers are probably not going to go for that. The buy and hold crowd would probably go for that or whatever, because they're looking for that appreciation that you can get really fast out there in, Southern California, and I guess parts of Northern, the Bay Area or whatever. So from what I know about it. So, all right. What we got here? Oh, you're knocking them out, ain't we?
All right, Adrian. You're killing it over here. Killing it today.
All right. This is another question from Speaking How I Feel. Speaking How I Feel. That's what he's trying to say. Speaking How I Feel is the YouTuber's name. All right. I just invested in bandit signs. I'm not sure where I should put them. Do you have any tips? I have a video. It's called Ride Along, Bandit Sign Ride Along with the Flip Man. Just go to YouTube and do a search for that particular video. And I think I give good examples. If you want to add anything, Reuneklea?
I'm sure you killed it. I'm sure you killed it on that video.
For something that needs all right. Let me see. If you knew when you first started, what you do? Oh my God, yes. This is good. This is now. I think we've already done High Life Films 2010. So you're making films High Life, I'm assuming, with that name. All right.
I like that. In the media.
Oh yeah. So if you knew what you now know, I guess what it means. Now, when you first started wholesaling, what would you do different, if anything?
That's a good question. I don't know. You go first. I had to think about that.
Well, with me, I probably would have bit the bullet. And knowing what I know now, the market crashed, several years, basically 5 years after I started. I would have probably done a lot more lease options and things of that creative financing. So I could have had a portfolio of properties that I pretty much picked up some type of ownership with little or nothing down. And when that would have happened, I would have had a decent amount of cash flow to help me through those times. So that's probably one of the things. And also, I can always say this even now, I wish I would have done more marketing to generate more leads. Google AdWords were very cheap back then. I hate I didn't do more of that back then. And also I dropped the ball by letting it go because it was working. So just off the top of my head, those are a couple of things.
That's good. I would say I like that. I like what you said, because I kind of really started around 07, 08, 09, and that's when the market crashed. And honestly, everything was so cheap then. So That's one thing I would have done, is not wholesaled at that time and bought more. But most importantly, I think I would have built a team, because you can cover more grounds with the team. Especially being here in Atlanta, it's like 5 boroughs around the Atlanta area. I would have built a team per borough so we can cover all the grounds of our metro Atlanta area. And when you build a team, you just can cover more ground. You can do more deals and make more money. So I would do that.
All right. Let me see here. All right. Get this question pretty much every week. Shakia Tubbs, can I use the same purchase sales agreement on dealulator to wholesale mobile homes? Really, you can't unless land is involved in the deal. If it's not, and the mobile home has to be moved, or is sitting on a mobile home park and they're just leasing the space or whatever, then the contract really won't matter. You have to look at that the same way you would purchase a car or automobile. You don't need a contract to do that. If you're just doing it between you and just an individual, that's the same way a mobile home really works, unless land is included with the property or a lot or whatever. So to answer your question, the contract won't matter.
Mm.
All right, I'm gonna put this up here. Travis Riggins said, "Man, why don't you do shows no more with people results about closing on their first deal?" I only can do those when people want to do them, whatever. I have plenty of people that do deals. A lot of people don't want to go on camera. I probably would have been one of those individuals. So to answer your question, when people want to do it, I normally I'll go ahead and do it. And sometimes I may drop the ball on the people, tell me they want to do it, and I'll forget it. And if I don't, I may not can find their information anymore. So I think I actually got a couple people like that right now, since you're saying that won't actually do interviews, but just have so much going on, man. I drop the ball on stuff like that sometimes. I apologize. Don't kill me. But I'm gonna try to do better, Travis. But a lot of it is that I only do it when people want to do it or whatever. All right. So all right. So this is a good one from Rashida Moore. Ms. Moore, Mrs. Moore, not sure. I have a fear of the phone when it comes to cold calling. What advice do you give to those that is having this issue? Also, is there a cold calling script that you would recommend to use? Now, in the last question, we sort of just went over that. If you go back a few minutes, we're 33 minutes in. So if you go back about 5 minutes ago, about the 28-minute mark, I sort of went through that. But the fear, I have a terrible fear of it, making cold calls. So what you should do if you have that fear, either get over it, number one, depending on how hungry you are, or you can be a little smart about it and bring in someone, either hire a VA off somewhere like Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com, or partner with someone that likes to talk a lot and would not be afraid of putting the work in, number one, but calling people constantly about buying their house or whatever. So anything you want to add, Reuneklea?
I think fear is normal. I think it's normal to feel fear, but I think most importantly, everything we want and everything we deserve is on the opposite side of the box and on the opposite side of fear. So it's really truly just building up that confidence that you can do this. It's just confident. I think we fear things that we're just not as confident in. But I guarantee what you really do every day, you can call people out the blue and talk to them about that because you're very confident in your conversation. So just become confident, because everything that we deserve and want is on the other side of that fear. You got to step outside the box. Our comfort zone kills dreams. Everything we want is outside of the comfort zone. Yep. One of my biggest fears in life was public speaking. But I knew in order to be as successful as I want to be, I had to get over that fear. So we all got to do the same thing. You got to get over it. Just got to get confident.
I'm slowly doing that myself. You know, I spoke last night. I found myself not really being terrified like I normally am or whatever. So,
Right.
oh yeah, I guess more you do something, you know, or whatever.
More confident.
As long as you be, you know, honest about yourself and you know what you need to improve on. We all need to be improving on a daily. Many things. I know I do. All right.
But the worst can happen. They just hang up.
Yeah,
They say no.
At the end of the day, they make it easy for you. You ain't wasting that.
Right.
You're not wasting your time. In reality, they make it easy for you. Yep.
Right.
All right. So, Lwaan Pearson, how many bandit signs should I start with?
I want to say it's only take one to make money. One person to see one bandit sign, but that's a good question.
Yeah. Ideally, my man, I would recommend a minimum of 100. Ideally, you want I ain't moving fast enough. Let me go down to the bottom. I'm not moving fast enough on these questions. They got a lot of questions. Yeah, so ideally you want to start with a minimum of 100. 200 is ideal. A good tip, let me see if I can pull this up right quick. The way I do my signs right now, let me go to desktop. Let me cancel that. The way I do my signs right now is, let me see if I find one. I ain't too messed up here. All right. Yeah. So bear with me. I'm trying to show you, give you an idea or whatever. You don't have to do them like these or whatever, but you know, these tend to pop a little more. I hope they can see that. Let me remove his comment. Where is he at?
We can see it.
Yeah, they can see it. So yeah, so you know, like that, and then that's two color. And if you want to do you know, one color, you know, like that or whatever. So just to give you some ideas or whatever. So man, I'm loving this service. Woo, Lord have mercy. Yeah, so anyway, so what we got here? So let me try to knock out some more questions here. Got a lot of questions. Hope we got the answers. Yolanda Jefferson, she just purchased this morning, I guess, my wholesale legacy course. Thank you, Yolanda. Look forward to working with you in the platinum group on Facebook.
Nice, congratulations.
Oh yeah, get in the game, baby. Get 2020 going right.
Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself.
Oh yeah. Educate yourself. Get yourself.
Educate yourself. Very important.
Yes.
The greatest investment is investing in yourself.
Oh yeah. All right. So Fatima Long. What's going on, Miss Long? I'm sorry, Instagram. Y'all up next.
Flippinar.
All right, so I'm gonna ask a question on Instagram next. All right. So how can someone living literally paycheck to paycheck and has not good credit get into wholesaling quickly to level up my finances? Are there any options for me? Yes.
Oh, wow.
That is the story of a lot of individuals, baby girl. And the best thing you could do first, as we just discussed, is to educate yourself to, number one, give yourself the best opportunity to succeed. Once you educate yourself on all of this free information, right? And right here on my YouTube channel, others out there, but I think I give it all away. Educate yourself. You'll see that your cash or credit situation won't matter at all. The only thing you'll have to do is, if you're trying to fast forward or speed it up after you educate yourself, is just make sure you have a solid marketing plan to start to generate leads, because it's only going to take one deal, right? Hopefully, even if it was a $2,500 deal, for a lot of people, that's just like a serious injection of, hey, number one is real, but now I can compound my efforts marketing wise to start to generate more leads. What do you want to add on it, baby girl?
Absolutely. One thing I love about wholesaling, you don't need your credit, you don't need a loan, you don't need financing. You just need to be able to go out there and wholesale a deal. You don't need credit to wholesale a deal. So wholesaling actually is one of the best places to start, because you don't need to use your credit. So, so invest in wholesaling, your wholesale business, so you can make some money. And then once you make some money, please invest in getting your credit right, because credit is so important. Credit is the foundation of wealth. Credit is what we build on to build wealth. So a lot of times we don't realize it could take $300, $400, $500 to fix your credit. So invest back into yourself, because credit is very, very important to building wealth.
All right, from my Instagram, not sure what the name is, but someone says, I noticed that your contract doesn't have the 10-day inspection period in it. Do we need that when making a deal? Actually, if you go to YouTube and do a search for a free contract online and put Flipman, the version that I offer free on my website, dealulator.com, has that option where you can include an inspection period or a due diligence period in that particular contract. You just choose the number, whether it's 10 days, 21, or whatever. So just check out that particular video and you'll see what I mean. Or you go to dealulator.com, that you can access that contract for free. I get notifications on when people fill out the contract, and a lot of you guys are definitely using the service and free. Hopefully you're making a lot of money out there with it, whatever. So most definitely.
And to the Miss Fatima, you say, literally living paycheck to paycheck. That's like a lot of people's scenario. So to me, it's sweat equity that you got to put in. You got to put in that time so you can make extra money, and use your extra time to make extra money, because that sweat equity is very important outside of your job. What are you doing outside of those 8 hours? Are you investing back into your wholesaling business? Are you learning more about wholesaling? Are you teaching yourself what you don't know? Use that downtime to teach yourself what you don't know. Invest in yourself so you can create a investment opportunity or a wholesale business, so you no longer have to live that paycheck to paycheck, which is what a lot of people is facing. So,
all right, another question from the Instagram, that is AKIG.
Not the gram.
Once you get your first deal, say 5K on a 5K assignment fee, what should we invest in first to keep the ball rolling?
That's a good question.
Great question.
That's a good question. You want to invest back into your marketing.
Boom. You want to put more gas in the car so to keep going.
Absolutely.
And that's your market.
Absolutely.
Keep the lead.
Don't really look at it as profit.
Yeah.
Invest back into yourself. Sacrifice 3 or 4 months without you spending any of that wholesale money. Invest back into your business. Let your money grow for 6 months. Let it grow for a little while before you start dabbling into it. So now you have a lump sum of money where marketing is not even an issue for you to put that money towards marketing on a monthly basis.
Now, if your light's about to get cut off, you know what you need to do.
I mean,
you know you need to take 500 or 600 to straighten that out.
Yeah, I need you to take that money and take care of the
money. All right. So we got Shae. Hello, Reuneklea. Does your company lend money to buy homes at foreclosures? I guess they Yeah.
I'm assuming that you're talking about tax liens, foreclosures,
Yeah.
at the foreclosure step,
Yeah, I guess auctions.
or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
for at the auctions.
Yeah.
So yes and no. And the reason why is because some states I would say yes, because I had a client call me, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and his state gave them like 90 days to come pay the tax lien off. So when your state give you that time frame to be able to come in and pay your tax liens off, or pay that tax lien bill, then yes you can, because we'll have enough time where you'll be able to get financing. However, if you're a state like Georgia, where you have to pay, if you win the auction, you got to pay them immediately. And upon paying them immediately, of course, from a lending standpoint, we won't have time to lend to you. So you have to bring cash in that scenario.
All right. Let me see here. What we got on Instagram again? In the business, what was this? Oh, I said the star. All right. Someone on Instagram says, my husband and I are starting in the business. What would be the best advice to start as a wholesaler? Well, we sort of just went over that with Fatima. And it's number one, educating yourself and understand the business boils down to generating leads. In reality, you're a wholesaler / investor, but in reality, you're a marketing agency that generates leads. Mm-hmm. In reality, that's what you are. Mm-hmm. Your everyday job as a wholesaler is to generate leads, because it's going to take a lot of them to get deals in most cases. And then everything else just to fall in place if you generate enough leads. It just will, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would advise you. Educate yourself first. Take advantage of all this free content. I'm not sure the name on Instagram. And then we go from there. Right. This is a good question from, well, all of them are good questions. Let me stop saying that. From Latoya Sherry. I think I'm saying that right. Hi, Ty. Do you need to have the money for a title fee? I guess you meant fee up front. Well, if you have a relationship with title companies, they'll go ahead and just run it, but that normally just not going to happen when you walking in the door. Sometimes you can let them know, hey, I'm starting in the real estate business. Hey, they may just want the business. But just to expect to be able to pay that, I advise you don't even worry about paying for a title company in the beginning, because your buyer may not want to use them or whatever. Now that fee still has to be paid or whatever. It's really, in most cases, not always, but in most cases, in my opinion, you should wait on the title company once you have a seller in the contract and an actual cash buyer on the contract, because they may not want it, but they may be, normally the cash buyer is paying for all of that. So a lot of times they're going to dictate, not all the time, sometimes they'll say, I don't care. They just know if it's a reputable title company, they probably already done business with them. They've been in the business a long time, whatever. So, so I advise you, especially starting, that can add up. You could keep pulling titles and not finding buyers, for $300, $400 a pop, that'll add up.
Absolutely. And I had one attorney charge me to pull title. I mean, I had to start title. I had to pay for it. I had to pay them $250 up front to start title. So like Todd said, you really don't want to start pulling title until you're in buyer and everybody's in place.
All right. The Facebook, I guess these might be people out of the group, out of the private group, and it's not pulling their information, which is fine as long as we get the question out. Any experience in investing in rural areas or less densely populated areas, small towns? Have you had any experience with those?
Somewhat, and I would say it's really just market interest. Like, how many people in that small rural area is really buying and selling real estate? So you have to, in order for you to be successful in wholesaling or flipping real estate, your market has to have a demand for buying properties. So in those areas, I would say you just want to make sure that there's a demand in the area for your wholesale deals or any fix and flip deals that you're doing to make sure that you're not doing something and your property just sitting out there because there's no one in the market, but there's no demand in that market. So.
All right. Somebody from Facebook said just made $13,500 assignment fee on 2 properties that sold together. That's what's up.
Hey.
What's up? I need a loan. Boy, hold something.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Stuff like that changes your life.
Oh yeah.
You know, getting a quick $13,000, stuff like that will put you in a place where you're not living paycheck to paycheck anymore.
Yes, and somebody else just said right here, I just made $17,000 assignment fee on Friday and $4,000 today.
You're at $21,000 in a week.
Yeah, your admin. Oh, that's Crystal. That she is killing the game.
That's nice.
Oh yeah,
that's what we do this for.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me see here. Another way to put business. Okay. Well, here we go. Lewis Harris says, are there other ways to put out, I guess he means bandit signs. I'm not sure where people get banner signs from, but I guess both work. Bandit signs, BANDIT. Bandit signs up like on Facebook, social media marketing.
Yes.
Yep. You can do that. Nothing prevents you from doing that, my man. You never know who's watching. Those are free platforms. Never know who's watching.
Right.
Just to put this up here, Jonathan Dunn says, no marketing, no business. I agree, Jonathan. All right. Here's another one from you of the tube. Flip man, what's up? What's up to you, sir, ma'am? Quick question. If a property has back taxes or tax lien, should the BC contract include the amount of the taxes too? Would the title company even allow that to be omitted? Well, the title company, their job is they're gonna tell you all of that what all of that stuff is out there and what's needed to clear the title. And part of that is those debts being paid normally at the closing table, assuming the price that you need to make the deal work covers all of that. I guess it's possible. I've had it to happen once. A seller will actually bring money to the table to close the deal. It only happened once with me.
I haven't seen it. I told you I've seen that.
Yeah, it was a $200,000 house. I think I forget the numbers on it. Well, I'm not a $200,000 house was worth more than that, but she and I had a contract like 204. I think she brought $6,000 to the table to pay it off or whatever. It's the only time it ever happened with me or whatever. But to answer the question here, the liens and taxes, mortgages, whatever. Normally your price has to be able to cover that. And obviously the price still has to work for you and the seller. So.
Right. And I will also say about tax liens, I mean, all that taxes and stuff, allow the attorney to handle that. Put your deal together. It's okay to ask the seller, is there a mortgage on the property? And do you owe any taxes that we should know about? Because those things does affect profit margins and things of that nature. So what if you put a whole deal together and you find out that there's a lot of back taxes? All you can do is go back to the seller and say, hey, there's $15,000 of back taxes, and to make sure that they're going to take care of that. If they don't take care of that, you have no deal. So at the end of the day, and on top of that, you may come back and need to lower the price because there are liens and taxes and things like that on the property, and that's okay. That's all negotiable once you find that out via your attorney.
All right. Here, what if the buyer wants to use a different title company and that company isn't familiar with wholesaling? I guess so. We just talked about that, and that will happen. The buyer say, "Hey, this is who I do business with," and they're not familiar with wholesaling. Trust me, it's a lot easier to have that conversation with a title company or a closing attorney when an actual deal is on the table where they can make money. You just calling out of the blue, you never know who you're getting on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
but if you have a contract with the seller and your buyer wants to perform, that's their client, that title company's client. Your job is to make sure they understand what you want, even if they've never done it before. Now, I have a closing detail sheet that I give away or whatever that you can use and to explain who's the seller, who's the buyer, obviously the property address, the selling price, the assignment fee paid to such and such, and then who's paying the closing costs. You know, I ain't gonna use that word, but they're not that smart if they don't see that how clear that is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
And if you have a HUD statement from a previous transaction, you might want to mark out the names and everything. Show them a previous HUD or whatever. Send them over a previous HUD to show how it reads on the HUD 1 statement.
Right. Right. And this is actually a really great question because it happens all the time. Everyone wants to use their attorney. So one of the mechanisms that I do and do currently is my whole purpose is to control the entire deal. So if I want to control the entire deal, I have to make people use my attorney. So what happens if they're very adamant about using theirs? I always would not even give them that option. We already pulled title is ready, we can close next week. So with that being said, if I already pulled title, 9 times out of 10, I'm definitely not going to your attorney because we already got title pulled and we're ready to close. Title's already been pulled. So I always use that, and I can't lie, it works. When you just say it, and I could not have pulled title yet, but I would let them know I already pulled title. And then on top of that, I'll throw a cherry on top and say, and I will take care of 50% of your attorney fees or your attorney costs or something like that, just so I can control the deal. And if my attorney charged $500, that's $250 out of my pocket, just so I can control the deal. So you have to find those little different ways and strategies to help you control. But if they're just adamant about using it, then you may have to just make sure, like Ty said, contact that closing attorney to help make sure they understand how you want to structure the deal. However, I'm gonna say this disclaimer. There's one time the buyer actually did control the deal when the buyer attorney found out that who was wholesaling the deal, the buyer attorney totally killed the deal. So that happens as well. So yeah, so you wanna try to control it as much as you can. So you can't control it anymore.
Another thing, I was just thinking outside the box. If you've already done deals with other title companies or closing attorneys, you may get them just to act as a liaison or something to help them understand how to put the deal together. Now you may have to pay them, but they'll probably that's just a phone call. That's worth to you a couple of $100 for them to make a phone call or send an email on how that deal needs to be structured or whatever. And I'm sure a lot of them already know each other, know of each other or whatever, and that may ease the tenseness of doing something they've never done before. So that's a possibility too. Just get someone that you've already worked with to reach out to them. Say, hey, this is how I've done it before. Here's some previous deals, and then they may send some deals that are whited out or whatever, just to show them, show how to do it or whatever. So that was just me thinking outside the box or whatever. So I think you're muted. Oh, you good? You good? All right. So what we got? So before we go into another question, I want to make sure that I give you an opportunity again to let them know how to contact you, Reuneklea.
Yes. Thank you so much. As always, I'm thankful for being a part of the Flippinar show. But most importantly, we specialize in financing. As I stated earlier, nothing moves before the money. Therefore, you cannot take advantage of great opportunities in real estate business if you don't have your finances in order to be able to take advantage of the opportunities. Hence, why I have the acronym POOR, P-O-O-R, is not a financial state. It's passed over opportunities repeatedly. So in order to really position ourselves, we want to have our finances in order. So if you want to take advantage of getting your finances in order, leveraging your credit, using other people's money, using the bank's money, we have a program to help you leverage your credit to receive up to $150,000 of unsecured credit. If you want to take advantage of any of our financing option, go to fundmynextdeal.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram, or you can email me if you have any questions at funding@fkfinancials.com.
Okay, guys. Now be where is my thing at? Oh, there it is. Where is it? Now before we go, just a reminder, you still want to get access to the new wholesaling legacy course. Yeah, wholesaling legacy course. The link will be in the comments of this particular video, and also I'll add it, on YouTube or whatever. Also, so again, I just wanted to share that with you guys, and we'll go ahead and get out. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and ask Flipman. Also on Twitter, the same thing. Anything else you want to add, baby girl?
Let's go get it. Let's go get it.
All right, guys. Really appreciate you all showing up this week. AP didn't show up, but hey, we got it in. So,
Absolutely.
boom. I think this new service working. I'm looking forward to looking at it on the replay. So,
this is perfect.
All right. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you on the flip side.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Show you want